Under the blazing golden sunset, 2 kids were sitting on the grass, twisting grass stems into rings.
Here, Sam, this one's for you.
And this one's for you. We exchanged our little grass rings, holding them like they were the most valuable treasure in the world. So we're married now, right?
When we grow up, I'll throw us a big wedding.
Just then, I felt something tickling my arm. I glanced down and saw a tiny spider crawling up my sleeve. I screamed and jumped back.
Don't worry, I'll save you from this terrifying spider.
Steve scooped me up and spun me around until we both fell into the grass, giggling.
Count 1, 2, 3, and I'll always be there.
But then, he was gone. One day, his house was empty, with a for sale sign in the yard. We didn't even get to say goodbye. We were only 5 at the time. What a bunch of kids. Hey there, I'm Sam, now 17, and totally not the weakling I used to be. I've leveled up into a spy, following in my dad's footsteps. Though I still freak out about spiders. One day, I got assigned a new mission in Sydney, Australia. My dad thought I'd be perfect for the job since I could blend in as a student. The mission was to infiltrate a prestigious school connected to some illegal gold smuggling ring. But I said no. Australia's packed with spiders and snakes too. Nope, nope, nope.
Think it over.
He slid a photo towards me, a candid shot of some students from that school. My heart dropped when I saw a familiar face. Steve. Is that him?
We've confirmed it. What's troubling is, Steve might be involved with the smuggling ring, or maybe not. This mission will teach you a lot. Don't let your feelings get in the way of work.
This sounds like a tough one.
But it's good for you.
My dad was strict, but he always tried to support me as much as possible, so I accepted the mission. Plus, I was curious about seeing Steve again. Australia greeted me with a refreshing sea breeze and bustling streets. Tomorrow, I'd be starting school undercover as an exchange student. I rented a typical Aussie house, but things got messy the next morning when I woke up. I slipped my foot into a slipper, only to feel something scaly moving inside. I yanked my foot out, my heart pounding. A snake! Then I felt something cold and slippery crawl up my arm. Another one! The landlady rushed in to find me curled up in the corner of the bed. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. That's just my pet. Nagini's such a sweetie. I've been looking all over for you. My panic faded as the landlady offered to make me breakfast. She handed me a plate with Vegemite on toast, and I took a cautious bite. It tasted salty and kind of bitter. It's interesting. I forced a smile to return the old lady's hospitality. Whew, it was going to take some time to adjust to all these new things here. On my first day at school, I couldn't stop thinking about Steve. After classes, I lingered around, checking out the school. While I was wandering around the backfield, I saw a teacher struggling with some gym equipment. Let me help you out, sir.
Oh, I'm so clumsy. Thanks. But you should head home soon.
A little further down the path, I ran into a group of 3 girls in old school uniforms heading my way. Hey, new girl! You're new, so you probably haven't heard the rumors about this school, huh? No one sticks around after hours. Like, no one. Well, why not? Something about their vibe felt off, but maybe this would be helpful for my investigation. Their answer was a shocker. This school's haunted. Stay late and you might meet them. Ghosts? You've gotta be joking. People say they hear weird noises at night, whispers from the dark hallways. Then why are you still here? We're student reps. It's our job to remind people to leave. Anyway, see ya! Then they walked off quickly. I never believed in ghosts, but maybe those phantoms were connected to what I was looking for. I decided to stay at school that night. I sat crouched in the corner of the building, trying to stay out of the security guard's eyes. The school hallway fell silent once again. I was waiting for the smugglers to make their move. If they were sneaking something into the school, it was definitely happening at night. But my mind started drifting back to the ghost stories my classmates told me. Could it really be? That sound made the hair on my neck stand up. Then came the soft thudding of footsteps, barely audible, but the ground beneath me felt like it was trembling. I'm not scared of ghosts. I was here to complete a mission, not to chase after spooky stories. Just then, in the dim flickering light outside the schoolyard, I saw a shadow. I clamped my hand over my mouth to keep from screaming. That figure was moving quickly, almost floating across the ground. It was getting closer, so close. I held my breath. But it was Steve. That face was unmistakable, just like the one in the photo Dad had shown me. What's Steve doing at school this late? There wasn't time to think. I quietly followed him. As I got closer, Steve disappeared behind a door to an old building far from the main campus. I took a deep breath, pushed the door open, and stepped inside. A wave of fear hit me. Spiders, they were everywhere. The floor, the walls, the ceiling. Hundreds of beady eyes were locked on me. I knew they were venomous. If I got bitten, I couldn't walk out of here. I swallowed hard, scanning the room. Steve had vanished here, so there had to be another way out. Before I could think, the spiders started attacking. I whipped out a tiny bug spray canister Dad always told me to carry in Australia. Covering my mouth and nose, I weaved through the webs, taking down the spiders. But there were too many. The ones behind were bigger than the ones before, all coming at me. It took a while to get through them, but I knew the spray would only knock them out temporarily. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I spotted it. A floorboard with a strange handle. I braced myself for whatever might be behind it. A massive spider? A python? But instead, there was just a sliding chute leading down below. What the fudge? Was this some kind of kiddie game? Suddenly, I heard noises below getting closer. Afraid of being discovered, I closed the trapdoor and slipped out of the room. So, it was all part of a cover-up. The smugglers had been using these ghost stories to keep students away at night. Tomorrow, I'd come back, better prepared to uncover the truth. The next morning, I showed up early at school and saw Steve in the courtyard. My heart raced. It wasn't just about reuniting with an old friend anymore. I needed to know if he was involved with criminals. Steve! He turned around, but his reaction wasn't what I expected. It shocked me.
Yes? Who are you?
It's me, Sam, from home.
I don't know you. Sorry, I'm busy.
Before I could say anything else, the gym teacher from yesterday appeared, handing me a water bottle.
Thanks again for helping me yesterday. You know, I'm such a clumsy teacher.
Yeah, no problem. I watched Steve walk away. What was going on with his memory? That night, I was determined to figure out what was happening beneath the school. And if Steve was involved, I'd bring everything to light. I had to get back to that secret room. This time, the room full of venomous spiders didn't scare me like before. I quickly found the trapdoor beneath the floor. Taking a deep breath, I got ready to slide down. But then, a hand grabbed my arm.
Don't!
Steve gripped me, his eyes cold and distant, like he'd been brainwashed.
Sam, don't.
For a moment, I froze, completely confused. Steve, do you remember me?
Of course I remember you. I never forgot you.
My mind was spinning, trying to piece everything together. Then why this morning?
It's complicated. I don't want you mixed up in this mess. My dad, he was once part of them, and now he owes them money. Lots of it. That's how I got dragged into all this. I didn't have a choice.
I didn't know.
They're using the school, Sam. I've been helping them smuggle gold in and out of here. And in return, they keep my dad safe.
You're helping them commit crimes. I could still remember the innocent face Steve had as a kid. But now all I saw was worry and guilt. I can help you. I'm a special agent now.
What? Oh, right. Just like your dad. That's why my family moved away back then, when we found out your dad was an agent.
Oh, so that's what happened. But Steve, let me help you. For us.
The gold's already been moved, but they're planning another shipment soon. When it comes, I'll let you know.
In the days that followed, Steve and I started spending more time together. One afternoon, he invited me to the zoo. I was amazed watching kangaroos hop around freely. I even got to hold a koala with its soft, fluffy fur. Later, we found a quiet spot near the emu enclosure, and Steve pulled out a boomerang.
Ever tried one of these? It's super fun.
I shook my head, eager to try it out. We had a blast. The next day, Steve secretly texted me about the gold shipment coming in that night, warning me to be careful. We slid down the chute and Steve signaled for me to hide behind the large wooden crates. I pulled out my phone, carefully snapping photos of the deal, evidence that would send them all to jail. Just as I was about to send the pictures to Dad, a heavy hand clamped down on my shoulder. I'd slipped up again, but this time, luck wasn't on my side.
I've been keeping an eye on you, you little rat.
He grabbed me by my collar and shoved me to the ground right in front of Steve, snarling like a wild animal.
How did this brat find her way down here? She almost ratted us out to the cops. Your dad's still in my hands, you idiot.
Steve stepped forward, looking at me with cold, unrecognizable eyes. My heart sank as he picked up my phone and smashed it. Steve!
I'll deal with her once we're done here.
No way. Steve didn't choose justice. That hurt more than 1,000 knives stabbing into my heart. They tied me up and continued moving the new shipments down the slide. I watched helplessly as the crates of gold were stacked up. But just as they were preparing the final load, chaos erupted outside. Police sirens blared through the halls above, and the criminals started scrambling to escape. My bonds loosened.
Get them before they run.
That's when I realized the phone Steve had smashed wasn't mine. It was his. He'd swapped them when the others weren't paying attention. The photos I'd taken of the smuggling operation had already been sent. We quickly cornered the goons, waiting for the cops to swoop in and arrest them. I thought it was all over, but then a cold hand grabbed me from behind.
Let me go, or the girl gets it!
The police all stepped back. My dad was there, his face tense but unmoving. Steve was circling around in the corner of my eye, slowly creeping up behind. Count 1, 2, 3, and you'll be here. The grip on my throat loosened and the gym teacher was tackled by Steve from behind. He writhed on the ground as the cops stormed in and cuffed him. Steve still had to face the consequences for what he'd done, though there might be leniency. Before they took him away, my dad allowed us a moment to talk. Thank you for saving me.
I should be the one thanking you. You've always been brave. And today, you gave me strength I didn't know I had.
We hugged tightly, something more than friendship, but not quite love.
Oh, by the way,
Steve pulled out a small grass ring, carefully threaded onto a necklace he wore. After all this time?
always.
Steve, it's time to go.
Oh, right. That afternoon, I saw you standing in the back field for a long time. What was going on?
I was talking to 3 girls in uniforms who warned me about the haunted school, but I guess it was all just made up, right?
Uniforms? That's weird. This school stopped wearing uniforms about 10 years ago. And when I saw you that day, you were standing there, alone.
My dad led Steve away, leaving me standing there stunned. So, who were the girls I met in the back field? I woke up with a pounding headache from the party last night. But wait, why does my room look different? My eyes were still bleary as I looked around and panicked when I saw someone lying next to me. It was Edmund! My heart raced and my head spun. What on earth happened last night? Hi, I'm Nora, but hold on. I'm not some bad girl or anything like that. Actually, I'm the perfect model student. Yet life just keeps throwing lemons at me. Like and subscribe to follow my story. My dad passed away when I was just a baby, and since then I've grown up with my mom's love and care. But it was a bit over the top. Mom always gave me the best: a healthy diet, a prestigious school hoping I'd become a doctor someday, and most importantly, she made sure all my relationships were completely healthy. Anyone I hung out with or talked to had to go through her approval first. Andrew, his nose is too big for his face, totally unbalanced, out. Phillips, too flashy, looks like a scammer, out. Drake, what's this? Are you planning to date a sugar daddy? He looks as old as me. You know what? You should just avoid boys altogether. It was a bummer, but I love my mom so much. She had carried the family alone for years, and her advice never really hurt me. I always listened to her to make her happy and become the top student in both academics and looks. Except for… Shh! I secretly took fashion design classes. Look, not bad, right? Suddenly, I was startled by a knock on the window.
Nora, babe, it's me.
It was Edmund, my boyfriend. He was climbing up like a hero to save his damsel in distress. Me. We met in a fashion design club and had been dating for 2 months, of course, without my mom knowing. We were blissfully happy with our young love until… What? You're leaving for studying abroad? In 2 days?
I'm sorry. I didn't tell you earlier because I didn't want to make you sad.
I was devastated, tears streaming down my face. Edmund gently held me and said,
Don't worry. If our love is strong enough, nothing can separate us. Oh, and tomorrow night is my farewell party. You have to come.
The next day, I had to lie to Mom, saying I was going to sleep over at a friend's, the second top student in the school, to get to Edmund's party. Mom didn't seem too pleased, but eventually agreed. When I arrived, I was surprised to see the mean girl Clara there too. She always made my life difficult just because I accidentally took the top spot from her. I tried to avoid her to prevent any trouble, but strangely, Clara was acting very differently today. Sorry for treating you badly all this time. I was just jealous of you. Let's make up. And Edmund, cheers! I hesitated but felt happy that Clara finally understood. We partied hard until… What happened last night? I panicked and woke Edmund up. He was just as shocked but couldn't remember anything either. Did we? No way!
Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here.
In our unclear state, we lost control. Both Edmund and I knew our actions were wrong, and this would be a hard lesson for both of us. I saw Edmund off at the airport, my heart burning with anxiety. And as soon as I got home, I faced my mother's wrath. How could you let your grades slip like this? Are you doodling again? My mind was a mess. I ran to my room and slammed the door. As a result, I was grounded for a month. But at least Edmund called me every day, making life seem brighter. However, one day, he just vanished. No calls, no texts. I felt a growing unease, but there was something else too. I hadn't had my period for over a month. I kept putting off seeing a doctor thinking it was just stress, but after searching online, I was floored. I took the risk and bought a pregnancy test. Oh my gosh, my life was over! At that moment, my heart stopped. Why did I end up in this situation? What am I going to do with this baby? Ah! What's wrong? Nothing. I'm fine. Make sure you go to bed early. You have school tomorrow. Mom would kick me out if she found out. No, that can't happen. After thinking it over, I made the craziest decision of my life. I'd keep the baby, but wouldn't let anyone know I was pregnant. I started eating like crazy to gain weight, hoping to hide my growing belly. As expected, when Mom saw me gaining weight, she immediately put me on a strict diet to slim down, but I kept sneaking food at night. However, my weight gain couldn't keep up with my expanding belly, even with the baggy clothes I wore. So I came up with the idea of stuffing my clothes with cotton, gradually adding more so it wouldn't be too obvious. But this layer of cotton made it hard to walk. I could barely breathe and was sweating like crazy from the heat. Everyone stared at me with wide eyes, including Mom and my schoolmates. Why is there a pig running around our school?
This pig must be size XXXL.
Their teasing left me flustered. I remembered Clara making up with me that night, or was I too drunk and confused? If Edmund were here, he would have scolded them for sure. I kept trying to contact Edmund, but to no avail. Maybe he had moved on with his life and didn't want anything to do with me anymore. As time passed, I slowly accepted that Edmund was completely out of my life. Only my passion for fashion design could lift my spirits, and selling my designs brought in some extra income. People around me got used to my new appearance, but other problems arose when I started experiencing morning sickness and constant nausea. What's wrong with you? Oh, it's just a bit of indigestion. The next day, Mom insisted I go to the doctor with her, but I said I was busy studying for finals, had a sore foot, a toothache, and came up with a million other excuses. Luckily, after a few months, the symptoms subsided and Mom stopped paying attention. I used my savings to buy prenatal vitamins and other supplements for the baby, hiding them all in a corner of my closet. Lately, seeing me so tired, Mom became much gentler. She didn't make me study as much and even cook soup for me every day. I was happy but felt incredibly guilty. The pregnancy reached 5 months, and with only 2 weeks left in the school year, I planned to tell Mom I was going abroad to study, then have the baby there. Once the deed was done, she couldn't do anything about it. A perfect plan, right? But life isn't a fairy tale. The next day, the principal called Clara and me to his office and announced that the school needed a representative for the national competition. As soon as we left his office, Clara dragged me to a corner and said, "That spot is mine. Step down before it's too late." Why should I? How dare you talk back? She raised her hand to slap me. I tried to resist, and unfortunately, some of the cotton fell out. What's this? She then touched my body and pulled out more cotton. I knew it. So you really did get knocked up that night? What nonsense are you talking about? No need to hide it. I intentionally got you and your boyfriend drunk. What you two did to get this big belly isn't my fault. Here's the deal. If you give up the spot for the competition and agree to be my lackey, I won't tell anyone. If not, well, let's see how the top student handles being pregnant out of wedlock. I was in a daze the whole way home. Should I do what Clara says? But a snake like her probably wouldn't keep her word. After a lot of painful thinking, I made a decision. I would tell Mom everything. Lately, she had been gentler with me, so maybe everything would be okay. But as soon as I got home, I saw Mom's face darken. She was holding the pregnancy test and standing next to a pile of prenatal vitamins. What is this? Speak! What have you done? Who's the father? Speak! I'm sorry! You've dared to lie to me all this time, bringing disgrace to this family! You've disappointed me beyond measure! My throat tightened and my eyes blurred with tears. I was at fault, but how could Mom say such harsh words to her own daughter? Fine, then I'll leave you so you can have your clean house. I immediately packed my things and left home, leaving Mom in shock. I also dropped out of school and used my meager savings to rent a small room, working part-time to make ends meet. At least now I didn't have to hide my pregnancy from anyone, nor did I have to suffer with all that cotton. I honed my design skills and started a TikTok channel to showcase my work, and thankfully, it gained a lot of support. Being a pregnant teen was no easy task. I struggled with walking, headaches, back pain, belly aches from the baby kicking, and endless sleepless nights. In those moments, I thought of Mom. Did she suffer like this when she was pregnant with me? I missed her and the days we spent together, but her words still hurt deeply. One day I was reading when there was a knock on the door. Mom? How did you find me here? Come home with me right now. You're such an ungrateful child. What will people think of me, that I'm such a bad mother you had to run away? So you're only here because of your reputation, not because you miss me? I'm pregnant, so what? You're a mother too. Why can't you understand? I'm tired of being your puppet all these years. Even if I live a hard life, at least I get to be myself. How dare you talk back to me like that? Come home right now. I tried to pull away, but suddenly felt extremely short of breath and everything went black. I faintly woke up to the smell of antiseptic, my hands covered in IV lines.
If you had been a little later, the baby wouldn't have made it.
I glanced to my side and saw Mom. I lost my temper trying to get up and leave, but Mom suddenly hugged me tightly. Nora, I'm sorry. I almost lost my grandchild. I was wrong, so wrong. I just wanted to keep that secret. What secret? And what she said next left me stunned. Your father didn't die. He ran away, leaving me alone and pregnant. I didn't tell you because I was afraid you wouldn't respect me anymore. I'm sorry for thinking that making you perfect and keeping you under control was the best way to protect you. When I found out you were pregnant, I was so ashamed that I let you fall into the same trap I did. So I said those horrible things to you. But I regretted it right away. I've been searching for you everywhere and haven't slept a night since. I couldn't hold back my tears. Mom had been bottling everything up for so long, and suddenly, all my anger melted away, replaced by deep compassion. This was my real mom, with all her raw emotions. But who's the baby's father? Forget about him, Mom. He's out of my life now. Because I once called a boy and forbade him from dating you. I think his name was Mom! Whatever. If he really loved me, he wouldn't have let a few words from you stop him. I went back home with Mom, transferred to a new school, and continued studying until it was almost time to give birth. I became more active, more confident, and even shared my story with my peers so they wouldn't make the same mistakes. But there were moments when I wished my baby could have both parents. Time passed, and today was the day I was giving birth. My little Daisy, she was as beautiful as an angel. Holding her in her arms, I was stunned to see someone walk in. Edmund?
Nora, I finally found you!
Ed, you…
I was a coward and felt unworthy, so I agreed to stay away as your mom requested. But ma'am, I've now succeeded and have my own fashion brand. I'm confident I can take care of Nora and the baby. I worked like crazy to become a better person and come back to you at this precious moment. Maybe it's the telepathic bond between a father and his child.
We hugged each other and cried. Then we decided to start over. Now I'm happier than ever. Since we're not of age yet, Edmund and I plan to get married after finishing school, and Mom supports us wholeheartedly. Together, we started a mother and baby fashion brand with the amazing friend and partner, who is none other than this auntie right here. I do regret not telling Mom about my pregnancy sooner, but only because I should have done it earlier.
That night, it was pouring rain. I snuck out from Grandma's house to call Dad. Hurry up, Dad! Get me out of this hellhole! The phone kept ringing, and I prayed that if Dad picked up, I wouldn't have to suffer in this miserable place anymore. Please, I'm begging you! Suddenly, a tall guy rushed into the phone booth where I was standing, scaring me half to death. Who are you?
Shh, quiet.
From afar, I saw a group of burly men in black chasing after him. Right then, he unexpectedly kissed me, leaving me frozen. The phone finally connected, but I couldn't push him away to answer.
Hello? Hello?
Find that kid, quick!
You're so rude! My dad hung up, and the guy didn't even care about the slap I gave him. He just ran off without an apology. Well, I was trying to stay calm to tell you all about my super dramatic story. Hi, I'm Ari, the richest and most famous heiress in Australia. Everyone feared me. I didn't look like that a moment ago, did I? Don't worry, I'm not a liar. I was forced to live in this awful place, and that rude guy ruined my chance to get back home. My dad was a famous politician in the US. Living alone for so long and getting $1 million allowance each month meant I had everything I wanted. Luxury mansions, designer clothes, lavish parties with celebrities. Saying I was born with a titanium spoon in my mouth wouldn't be wrong. But one day, during a cool sunset, while I was sunbathing, a door slam shattered my peace. Sweetie! Oh Lord, it was my grandma. My scary grandma. Haven't you heard? You're coming to live with me. What the fudge? I wasn't going to that boring, stinky place. I had a disaster of a time when I visited her at age 10. I saw a horse poop right in the middle of her house. I swore I'd never go back there. I'll never live in that stinky country place. I slammed the door on Grandma. Then night came and I went to sleep. I slept soundly on my $1,000 comfy bed. What a peaceful morning with no one bothering me. We've arrived at the endless field, sweetie. Why was I laying on a pile of hay? Grandma had gone nuts! While I was asleep, she and the bodyguards put me on a private jet and brought me to the countryside. You probably know what happened next. I was furious and screamed in my grandma's house. Ugh! Look at this bed! How can I sleep here?
Quiet down. I'll have someone fix it tomorrow.
Grandma was even worse. She took all my credit cards and my phone. I had to get back to Australia. Luckily, I found 2 cents in my room and snuck out to call Dad. But the stranger wasted my last 2 cents. Because of him, I had no choice but to follow Grandma's rules. A week later, I started at the local high school. From the moment I walked in, everyone stared at me differently. Of course, because I looked nothing like the people there. Suddenly, some noise caught my attention. A big guy was bullying other boys, holding a wad of cash. Wait, wasn't that the guy I met? Bullying the weak? So that's his nature. Not on my watch. Who do you think you are, hitting others?
So, you're friends with these losers?
Look at yourself, you sleazy creep. If you touch them, I'll tell everyone about the other night. Hearing that, he huffed and walked away. On my first day at school, I became a hero, but I still didn't like this place. Later, my friends told me he was Frank, and his dad was a convict. He probably inherited those genes. I just wanted to stay away from that toxic guy. After school, I headed back to Grandma's farm. When I got inside the bar, I didn't see her anywhere. I rummaged around the bar area and grabbed a drink. Suddenly, a sharp slap hit my back.
Hey, thief! Pay for that drink!
Ouch! That hurt! What now? Why was he here? Grandma!
Oh, I forgot to introduce you. This is Frank. He manages the bar for me.
Could it get any worse? Running into my nemesis at school was bad enough, but now I had to see him at home too? If you don't let me go back home, I'll run away. I hate this place. I hate you and I hate that jerk. I angrily packed my bags and headed for the door. That's when Grandma spoke up.
Fine. When you earn $3,000, you can go wherever you want. Frank, make sure she's got the money.
Both Frank and I were stunned by that declaration, but clearly it was my only way out of here. I couldn't just leave without a dime. After that day, I had to do chores I'd never done before. Worse, I had to work under the watchful eye of that annoying Frank. I washed glasses, cleaned stables, rented out horses, and served at the bar. After a night's work, I earned just $20. But I broke glasses, let horses loose, and argued with customers more times than I could count. Each time, Frank deducted $10 from my pay. How was I ever going to make that money? Earning cash was tougher than I thought. Maybe I could charm him into not docking my pay, right? Look at me. Don't I look irresistible?
Are you catching a cold? Drink this!
Ugh, such an unromantic guy. At school, I usually ignored Frank, yet he kept trying to sit near me, making everyone too scared to approach. What did he want from me? I'd scold him harshly every time he did that at school, so everyone knew how much I despised Frank. One day, a bookish girl pulled me aside. I want to show you something. She dragged me to a corner. The guys I defended on my first day were bullying someone for money. Surprised? Frank got my money back from them. Turns out, he wasn't as bad as I thought. After learning that, I felt conflicted about Frank. One day, I was on a high ladder in the library trying to get a book. Suddenly, Mr. Dean, one of our teachers, pulled out a hidden camera. He was filming me secretly. Out of nowhere, Frank appeared and kicked the camera out of his hand. He lifted me off the ladder and coldly stomped on the camera.
You! If you want to keep your job, stop this disgusting behavior.
That day, Frank and I walked home together, and I kept teasing him.
If you want to keep your job.
So cool.
Knock it off already.
Anyway, thanks and sorry. Frank looked surprised at me. Finally, I had the courage to thank him for saving me and apologize for misunderstanding about the bullying. I hoped nothing worse would happen between us. But life had other plans. A few days later, when Frank was in charge of our class's field trip funds, we discovered the money was missing. Just then, Mr. Dean walked by our class and sneered.
Son of a convict, deep in debt, must be a thief like his father.
I couldn't hold it in anymore. I threw my shoe at his head. Frank is not a thief. We'll earn back that money. After that, Frank and I worked extra hard at Grandma's bar. With his help, I stopped causing trouble and fighting with customers. I wasn't sure why, but I felt motivated to work hard. Maybe I wanted to help Frank repay the funds, or maybe I wanted to go back to Australia. I wasn't sure. Once, when a neighboring restaurant drew customers away with horse racing, Frank had an idea. He pulled me on stage and taught everyone tap dance, drawing a bigger crowd. In one night, we made $2,000 for the bar. When we each received $1,000 for our work that night, I hugged Frank. I saw the proud look in Grandma's eyes. We were getting closer, and Frank shared that on the day we first met, he was running away from his dad's debt collectors. No one had ever made me feel as safe as he did. So different from my lonely life in Australia. At this rate, I'll earn $3,000 soon. Then it'll be hard for you to see me. Suddenly, Frank fell silent. I did too. Why did I feel so sad? Could it be that I liked Frank? I missed my fabulous life in Australia, but things weren't as bad as I thought, especially since Frank showed up. Early in the morning, as usual, Frank arrived first to open the bar. When I went downstairs, I saw Frank rummaging through my wallet, holding the money I'd worked so hard to earn. His phone was on the table, and someone on the other end was urging him to pay the debt. I couldn't believe it. I'd never felt so disappointed. I'd fallen for a thief and a user. All his kindness had been a lie. How could you be so low, Frank?
Ari, let me explain.
I was going to tell you that I liked you, and I didn't want to go back to Australia. Hearing that, Frank was stunned. Now he understood how heartbroken I was. Mr. Dean wasn't wrong. Take this money and don't show your face to me again. I trusted and loved Frank, but he turned out to be like everyone else, using me. After that day, Frank tried to come to the bar to see me, but I always avoided him. I didn't want to talk to him anymore. Grandma saw the tension between us. I knew she'd speak well of Frank, so I avoided her too. One day, Frank didn't come to school, and the whole school buzzed with news that Mr. Dean had been fired for stealing the class funds and blaming Frank. Even so, I couldn't forgive Frank for stealing my hard-earned money. But soon after, I regretted it when I got home to Grandma.
I have something to tell you. Actually, I'm the one who told Frank to take that money.
After she explained everything, I was stunned. It turned out Grandma brought me here because Dad was involved in a political investigation. Our house in Australia was seized. Grandma had asked Frank to secretly protect me and find a way to get money to keep me here. The good news was Dad had been cleared and our property was returned. I'd soon go back to Australia, but since Frank knew about our family's situation, he was forced to leave.
If you really love him, don't let him go.
I didn't think twice and ran as fast as I could to Frank's house. But no one was there. I stood outside his door and cried loudly. Grandma told me everything. Don't go. I'll mess up. I'll stumble and break things without you. How can I live better without you? Suddenly, a hand tapped my shoulder, making me jump.
I was just packing. Don't you feel embarrassed crying outside my house like this?
I kept sobbing while Frank kept teasing me. It was super embarrassing. Frank gently wiped my tears and said,
Grandma only told you part of it. I took the money because I was afraid I wouldn't see you again. But this is the last time we'll meet here.
Despite my tears, Frank just laughed.
Because I just got a new job as a bodyguard for some rich heiress in Australia. Got it? So stop crying.
Grandma made it sound like I was really going to lose him. In the end, Grandma tricked me. Frank didn't hesitate to pull me close. And you know what happened next, right?
I was sitting on the Ferris wheel at the night fair. As the giant wheel was about to move, I happened to see an incredibly handsome guy. The moment our eyes met, I thought I was in love, and he seemed having the same feeling to me. Suddenly, the guy dashed over and sat right next to me, really close, making me feel all awkward. There are plenty of seats around.
Can I ask you out?
With the pride of a high-class lady, I said no.
So you won't give me a chance?
Before I could react, he unbuckled his seatbelt and climbed up onto the bar in front of us. His body was dangling in midair. Oh my gosh, that's dangerous, you idiot!
I'll ask you one more time. Will you go out with me?
And he let go of one hand from the bar, making everyone below gasp. Okay, fine. I'll go out with you. He smiled confidently, jumped back into his seat, grabbed my head, and kissed me passionately. I'd never met a guy so determined before. Hi, I'm Zoe, an American currently studying in England through an international exchange program. The guy who just flirted with me is Ryan. After that night, he pursued me everywhere, until I finally agreed to be his girlfriend. We had a sweet romance, and he was just too good to be true. We went on adventures, ate at various places, sat by the beach at night, and watched the stars together. Everything was perfect until one day the program ended and I had to return to the US. On the day I left for the airport, I gave him a commemorative bracelet. Keep this so we'll always remember each other. Distance couldn't stop our burning love. I texted him whenever I could, and Ryan would tell me all about the changes in the town I used to live in England. He even asked me to FaceTime.
I just want you here, Zoe. I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
Wait for me. I'll come to the US as soon as I could.
His promise made me laugh. I hung up, not knowing it was the last time I'd ever hear from Ryan. He stopped replying to my messages and wouldn't pick up my calls anymore. Months passed and I reunited with my best friend Kylie after she returned from her exchange program in England, but in a different city. We hugged each other excitedly. Kylie linked her arm with mine as we walked to class together. I have so much to tell you. I fell in love with a guy, but one day he just disappeared. But I think he'll show up eventually. Who could resist my beautiful friend, right? Okay, now let me introduce you to my new boyfriend. She walked over to a tall guy, and when he turned around, my heart dropped. It was Ryan. He didn't seem to recognize me as Kylie introduced him, saying she fell for him in England and brought him back here. How could this be? A guy who looked exactly like Ryan, and his name was Ryan too? So show me a picture of your boyfriend. Maybe Ryan knows him. How could I show her now? I couldn't tell her that her boyfriend was my ex. Kylie was innocent. She knew nothing about this. Ryan is in your class. Take care of him for me, okay? Oh my gosh, what the heck is happening? The first class began. Ryan even seemed annoyed with me when I tried to ask him questions. Psst, you don't remember me? I'm Zoe, remember? Do you have a twin brother or maybe a doppelganger?
What are you talking about? I'm me, the only child in my family, and there's no other Ryan. There couldn't be another handsome and talented guy like me. So what's up with you? Are you obsessed with me or something?
Everyone in class was staring at us, and the teacher told us to keep quiet for the rest of the lesson. This guy was like Ryan, but also not. My Ryan was smart and sweet, but this guy was annoying and dumb. I decided to call him Ryan too. Even though I felt the tension between us, the teacher still assigned me to tutor him after class. Despite all my efforts, he just slept. He was handsome, and every feature on his face reminded me of my ex-boyfriend. I missed him so much.
I know I'm handsome, but don't stare at me so dreamily.
I turned away, blushing furiously. He wasn't my Ryan. He was Ryan too, and Kylie's boyfriend. I tutored him in exchange for tennis lessons, the last course I needed to pass to graduate. It seemed he was only good at sports, and tormenting me.
If you don't pick up that racket, the ball's gonna hit your face.
But I need to catch my breath first. I had to try my hardest to dodge the barrage of balls he was hitting at me. After just a few minutes, I felt like a wilted flower. Just when I was about to burst into tears, a hand grabbed mine.
To hit the ball, you need to get your stance right first.
Like a different person, Ryan too gently adjusted my stance, from how I held my racket to my foot position and posture. He was so close I could hear his heartbeat. Zoe, you can do it, Zoe! Kylie's cheering made me push him away instinctively.
That's a great way to say thank you.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I reached out to help him up, but he brushed my hand aside and walked towards Kylie. I couldn't control my emotions anymore. One weekend morning, despite my refusal, Kylie dragged me to their picnic. How awkward. I was now the third wheel in their relationship. So, has that guy contacted you yet? Not yet. He's probably giving me the silent treatment. What a jerk! Forget him. I'll find you someone better. By the way, I met Ryan in an interesting situation. We met at the hospital. Were you okay in England? Oh, I tried skateboarding and ended up hitting my head. Luckily, I was fine. Ryan handed Kylie a sandwich and she smiled as she took it. Seeing them happy reminded me of my relationship. I opened my phone and looked at old photos of our picnics in England. Oh, show me! Kylie suddenly grabbed my phone and I had no choice but to get mad to stop her from seeing those photos. Give it back, that's not funny! Zoe, what's wrong with you? Nothing! I'm leaving. I snatched my phone back and started to leave. But then I noticed a bracelet peeking out from under Ryan 2's sleeve. It was the bracelet I gave my boyfriend before leaving for the US! How do you have this?
What? What's the big deal? It's important to me, but what does it have to do with you?
Ryan yanked his hand away and Kylie looked at me awkwardly. I decided to have a clear conversation with her. What? You're saying Ryan is your ex-boyfriend? No way! Look at our photos together. It's just a coincidence. How could it be? And the bracelet. I just don't understand why. Stop it! I don't want to hear it! Kylie ran away and I could still hear her sobbing. From that day on, Kylie avoided me whenever she could and she kept Ryan away from me too. I went home after class and as I walked down the hallway, I overheard some classmates talking. Did you hear? Kylie and her boyfriend are moving to England. Wow, are they settling down? Her boyfriend is really something. They decided to leave me behind. I had lost both my friendship and my love. I was absent-mindedly walking home when I passed by a newly opened fair. I looked up and saw a giant Ferris wheel. Ryan confessed to me under a Ferris wheel like this. In a moment, I thought I saw something familiar. The bracelet! It was hanging on the Ferris wheel. I went into the fair. I had to get it back. There were no staff around, so I took a deep breath and climbed up, keeping my eyes fixed on the bracelet. Just a little higher. But I slipped just as I reached it. I only had time to let out a scream before I fell. Someone caught me. More like I landed on top of them.
Oh, are you okay?
My eyes met Ryan's. Our faces just inches apart. Just like the moment he confessed to me that night, and suddenly his expression changed. Memories flooded back. Our outings, nights by the beach watching the stars, and the day he got that bracelet.
Zoe?
He called my name in that gentle voice I had missed so much.
I remember everything now.
Really? My heart skipped a beat. He nodded and hugged me tightly.
How could I ever forget you?
Welcome back! Despite the people whispering around us, we stayed there hugging as if we hadn't seen each other in years. But why did you throw it away?
I didn't. Kylie got mad at me, she grabbed it and threw it away. When I went to find it, I saw you.
So what about me? We looked up to see Kylie standing there trembling with anger. I told you, Zoe! You got the wrong person! Ryan can't be your ex-boyfriend!
Kylie, listen to me.
The day I met you in the hospital, I fell in love with you right then. You had a head injury from the accident and couldn't remember anything. I stayed with you all the time and took care of you. What? Ryan lost his memory after the accident? I was so worried when Zoe told me you were her ex. I was scared of losing you and losing Zoe. But my selfishness won and I pushed you to go back to England quickly to keep you away from here. I wanted to keep you for myself, but I lost. How could this be? Out of all the guys on the planet, I fell for my best friend's ex. Kylie. Stop it! Ryan never loved me. He only came with me to get to America. He kept that bracelet like it was a treasure. If I'd known why, I would have never fallen for him. Kylie screamed and then ran off. I thought our reunion would be wonderful, but now it had turned into a nightmare. We didn't see Kylie after that. The teacher just announced that she had moved away with her family. Time flew and Ryan and I got through that period together. It was hard to believe everything that had happened, but Ryan always reassured me with his positive words.
See? I kept my promise to come to America to find you as soon as I could.
It was the worst Halloween of my life when, for most of the morning, my dad and Uncle Jerry argued with each other about what to dress me up as. As Nancy's father, I know she wants to dress up as a mermaid. Don't be stupid. Nancy wants to be a unicorn. I took care of her since she was little. I know what she likes. They argued so intensely and almost never stopped. Finally, to please my two dads, I had to dress up as a unicorn mermaid. I know, it looked absolutely horrendous. At the party that day, I became a laughingstock. Hi, I'm Nancy. My mom passed away when I was just born. Therefore, my dad took care of me alone. To earn more money to support us, he moved to Alaska to work and left me in the care of Uncle Jerry, his single brother. Ever since I was a kid, I spent most of my time with Uncle Jerry. He loves me like his own daughter, and I also consider him as my second dad. Then, things started to get complicated when my dad finished his job in Alaska and returned home. He's a free-spirited man who doesn't follow any rules, and it's the exact opposite of Uncle Jerry, who is a careful and disciplined person. It had led to a great conflict between them, especially in how to raise me. Each of them thought he was a better father and their parenting style was the best. Ugh, it was so exhausting. On Father's Day that year, my school organized a sports activity for the students and their fathers to participate. Both Uncle Jerry and my dad felt that they deserved to be there and argued fiercely again with each other. It's Father's Day. Of course I should be the one to join her. Come on, big bro. Do you even remember the last time you exercised? I should be there since I'm the one who can help her win. Fine. Let's settle this the man's way. Arm wrestling. Deal. Be prepared to taste defeat. They quickly jumped to wrestle each other with murderous eyes. I tried my best to stop the two of them. That's enough! Stop hurting yourself! Can all three of us join together? After discussing it for a while, Dad and Uncle Jerry finally agreed to my plan. On the sports activity day, instead of having a dad accompany me like the other students, I showed up with my two dads. Then things got interesting when some people mistook them for a gay couple. My dad and Uncle Jerry had to explain to them in a panic. Their embarrassed expressions were really funny and cute. To make it fair, they decided to take turns joining me in sports activities. However, when it came to the last activity, running, trouble began to arise. Because both of them had previously participated in an equal number of activities, none wanted to yield to the other. Give up, Jerry. I'll join her. No way, Jack. Let her decide that. Nancy, I'm the more suitable dad, right? No, it's me. Nancy, choose me, honey. Nancy, I wiped your ass when you were little. Choose me. The two of them constantly pushed me to make a decision and made me extremely stressed. In the end, I pretended to faint. Both of them panicked and immediately rushed me to the infirmary. I felt really guilty for making them nervous, but it was the only way I could think of to avoid another fight between them. Sorry, dads. When I turned 16, I decided to apply to a famous music academy in the UK. Not only was it a place I had long wanted to study at, but it also created a great opportunity for me to develop my cello skill. As the entrance exam was approaching, I still hadn't received a response letter from that academy. It was so strange. After calling them again, I was informed that the invitation to apply was sent to me a few weeks ago. What? I always checked my mailbox but never received anything. So I brought this question to my dad. Dad, have you seen any letters sent to me? Letter? Nope. I saw no letter from England. Wait, I never said it was from England. He started to panic. His sweat was continuously pouring out. After 1 hour of questioning, he finally confessed the truth. All right, I did it. But why would you want to go there? Who will take care of and protect you? A 16-year-old girl living alone in a foreign country? It's crazy. At that moment, Uncle Jerry also popped up and joined him. Your dad is right. Wouldn't it be better to stay with us? Forget England. You know about this too, Jerry? My question stunned him. He kept stuttering, then tried to avoid my gaze. Realizing that both of them had teamed up to deceive me, I was extremely furious. You two are selfish! If you really love me, let me make my own decisions! After taking the letter from them, I went back to my room in anger. In the days that followed, I avoided my two dads and only focused on next month's academy entrance exam. At that moment, I just wanted to get away from Dad and Uncle Jerry as soon as possible. A few weeks later, the exam began. Because I was still angry with my two dads, I decided to take the bus there myself. Unfortunately, while on the road, the tire was punctured. With no other way to make it on time for the exam, I had to run there. After a long while, I finally got there and was surprised to see Dad and Uncle Jerry there too. You two, what are you doing here?
We're here to support you, honey. After our last talk, we thought a lot and realized that you were right. Jerry and I were too childish to always keep you by our sides. It's time for you to fly, little birdie. But don't forget that we'll always love you no matter what.
Feeling moved, I hugged both of my dads tightly. After I regained my spirits, they quickly urged me to enter the audition area. However, troubles hadn't stopped. Because it was 20 minutes past the entrance time, the security guard didn't let me in. Despite my pleas, he firmly refused. Depressed, I returned to my dad and uncle and burst into tears. I failed! They didn't allow me to come in.
Calm down, honey. Don't give up. We'll find a way.
Then quickly my dad pretended to be a lost drunk man to distract the guard while Uncle Jerry and I secretly snuck inside. Fortunately, as soon as I entered the audition waiting area, it was at the same time that the organizers read my name and asked me to go on stage. Uncle Jerry quickly helped me tune the strings, and even though his hand was cut and bleeding, he still tried to perfect them as quickly as possible. Thanks to their selflessness and countless support, I made it in time. When I started playing the cello, before I knew it, tears of gratitude were falling from my eyes. I tried to play with all I had so that my two wonderful dads could be proud of me. The moment I finished the final note, they both stood up from the audience's seats and clapped loudly. After my audition ended, I was excellently accepted into the Music Academy. My dads and I were overjoyed. Although we would have to be apart for a while, our hearts always go to the family no matter where we are.
That day, Miss Nari and I spent time together at the shopping mall trying to get along to put my dad at ease. Holy Christ, I couldn't even explain how horrible it was. The outfit she chose for me looked even more disastrous than the one Black China wore at this year's Grammys. Suddenly, I saw a familiar person inside the record store. It was Denzel Huang. Miss Nari, I gotta catch up with my friend. Go enjoy yourself. Hey, wait! Thank God, finally got rid of her. I breathed a sigh of relief and excitedly walked over to Denzel. What's up, pretty boy? Ah! Like a thief who just got caught red-handed, Denzel was so frightened that he dropped his entire record on the ground. They were Lil Nas X's and Sam Smith's latest albums. Huh? There was also a rainbow flag keychain. You like these? No, I was just curious. I gotta go now. Denzel was in such a hurry that he accidentally smashed his face against the window. After struggling to get up, he started running away from me as if I was a disease. Yo, it's me, Aisha, again. More than a month has passed since I moved to Korea with my dad and my stepmom. Things were difficult, but my two friends helped me settle in nicely. Yuri was both serious and funny, but Denzel was a bit weird, especially after our encounter the other day. Is he gay? I wondered. Nah. Denzel had always been a girl magnet. Not only that, he was the MVP of his baseball team. If anything, he reeked of testosterone. Guess I was just thinking too much. A few days later, I went to the baseball field to look for Denzel. Watching his manliness on full display, my previous doubts were immediately cleared. His straight stat must be about 99 out of 100. I waved to him and Denzel grinned cheerfully. Are you dating my son? What? But who is your son? Denzel Huang. While I was still bewildered, Denzel came to my rescue. Leave her alone, Dad! Come on, it's about time for my MVP to have a girlfriend. Turns out Denzel's dad was the coach of the school baseball team. No wonder Denzel practiced so hard. It seemed like Mr. Huang was very proud of his son as well. At that moment, the school's loudspeaker suddenly called. Denzel Huang, Aisha Green, please arrive at the office. You have delivery. We'll go now. See ya, Dad. Before I could speak up, Denzel pulled me away. It seemed that he was very shy about his dad's over-friendliness. Not long after that, we were both at the office. Miss Nari sent me a homemade lunch set. She was always worried that I couldn't eat Korean food at school. Geez, I'm a teenager and she treated me like a kid. How embarrassing! I turned to Denzel and saw him carefully unwrapping his gift box. Inside, it was a super cute teddy bear with a card that said, "To my love." Ooh la la! Your dad worries over nothing. You've already landed a cutie. Oh, come on! Give it back to me! While the two of us struggled for the bear, I accidentally pushed its button. A pre-recorded voice suddenly spoke up. Denzel Huang, we've been talking for 3 months now. You said you wanted to be my boyfriend, but you refused to meet me. How about we go on a real date next week? Oh my god! It was a guy's voice! I looked at Denzel in surprise, and he was speechless. After slightly regaining his composure, he pushed me and ran away in panic. Wait! Wait for me! While trying to chase after Denzel, I accidentally tripped myself. Damn it! Why was I so clumsy in such a critical moment? I was about to tell Yuri everything, but then I realized I should have cleared things up with Denzel first. So the next morning, I brought the teddy bear he left behind to the baseball field. As soon as he saw me, Denzel covered my mouth and pulled me to a nearby corner. Ew! You almost killed me with your sweaty hand! Sorry, but don't tell my secret to anyone, okay? Don't worry, I'm your trusted bestie. Then I gave him the bear. We both looked at each other and smiled. Denzel started opening up and told me everything. Turns out my bestie is gay, as I first assumed. He had a long-distance boyfriend named Minho. However, due to the presence of his dad's expectations and the fear of being discriminated against, Denzel didn't dare to come out nor meet his boyfriend in real life. You know how tough it is for someone in my position. Hey, what are you two doing here? Oops, it's Denzel's dad. Our hearts felt like they were going to leap out of our chests as he came closer. Come on, you two are hiding a secret? We are dating! Both Denzel and his dad were bewildered when I said that. I couldn't believe myself either, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. Haha, I knew it! But this is school ground, kids. Hurry back to class. Phew! Everything turned out so weird, but at least his dad believed my lie. So from that day on, in order to trick Mr. Huang, I pretended to be his son's girlfriend. But I soon realized our facade must end sooner or later. Denzel, you should come out. Don't you want to live true to yourself? I know, but I can't let my dad down. Dumbass! It's your life! Don't live for others' expectations. We both started arguing fiercely about it. I knew I should respect Denzel's decision, but it hurt me to see him hiding himself in fear and unhappiness. What about Minho? Are you gonna love him through the screens for the rest of your life? I love him, I do, but I don't have the courage to meet him yet. If my friend wasn't brave enough, then I'd give him that necessary boost. This is for your own good, Denzel. At the weekend, he would have a match at the stadium in the west of the city. I decided to invite Minho there so they could meet. So that afternoon, when Denzel was pruning trees with his dad in the garden, I sneaked into his room to steal Minho's contact from his phone. As soon as I got out of the room, Mr. Huang saw me. What are you doing in Denzel's room? I'm helping him with his laundry. Even his briefs? Oh, Aisha, I know my son is awesome, but you're too infatuated with him. How humiliating! But at least I achieved my goal. That morning, Minho arrived as scheduled. I secretly told them to go to the back of the stadium while I hid in a nearby corner to watch. Since it was quite far away, I couldn't hear what they were talking about. Oh shoot! Why are they looking so tense? Suddenly, Denzel ran away from there. I quickly approached Minho in panic. We just broke up. Minho sadly turned away despite me trying to stop him. When the baseball game started, Denzel was playing so bad that it hurt to watch. He repeatedly missed the ball and was soon replaced. What the hell was that? I rushed to Denzel as he was leaving the field. As soon as he saw me, he was beyond furious. You're the absolute worst. I'm gay and it's my own freaking business. Don't stick your nose in it. But I just want to do what's best for you. You know nothing. This is not America. Why don't you go back there? Are you gay, Denzel? His dad suddenly spoke up out of the blue. Why did he always show up at the worst possible moment? He then immediately pulled his son away. After that, I came home depressed and thought about what just happened. What did I do wrong? I was only trying to help my best friend. Aisha, do you want to help me make dinner? Nah, I'll pass. Come on, it's better than mopping there. Faced with my stepmother's nagging, I had to help her. Suddenly, I noticed something strange. Miss Nari, why have you cooked so many Western dishes recently? Because you often skip meals, honey. I know it's hard to change your habits and your way of life in general. I'd be happy if you enjoy Korean dishes, but I know it's better to let you take your time to adapt to the new changes at your own pace. Oh, geez. She sounded like a real mom just now. But what Miss Nari said reminded me of Denzel. I aggressively went ahead and did whatever I thought was right, but forgot to consider his feelings. Denzel needed time. I was stupid for not realizing it. I needed to fix that mistake. A few days later, I heard that Denzel had asked to transfer schools after his last match was over. So that day, I looked for his dad to explain everything. Since that day, my son has not spoken to me. The biggest reason he didn't come out was because he was afraid of disappointing you, Mr. Huang. It's all my fault for forcing him to do it. Please don't hate him. Why would you think so? I love my son no matter who he decides to be. Then you need to talk to him. The match had just begun. When it was Denzel's turn to play, I stood in the stands shouting enthusiastically, "Denzel, you can do it! We love you!" Then I immediately took off my jacket and revealed the rainbow shirt inside. "I'm proud of you, son!" Denzel looked at us in embarrassment, then burst into tears of happiness right on the field. Seeing that, the whole audience cheered and erupted into applause. After that day, Denzel lived a more open and happy life. He also forgave me, and we became close again. Although I didn't want to admit it, it was thanks to my stepmom that I got my stuff figured out. I happily bought a small gift to thank her. However, when I was about to step in the house, I suddenly overheard the conversation between my dad and Miss Nari.
Are you sure?
Yes, she would be better off in a boarding school. What? Did my mom want to kick me out of the house?
On Christmas Eve, it was raining heavily when my stepsister Ashley kicked me out of the house.
You thief! Get out of my house!
Please believe me, I didn't steal the money. My stepmom pulled out my years of savings that I kept in my suitcase, then ruthlessly kicked the suitcase at me.
Don't try to fool us. Get out of my sight!
With that, they slammed the door shut. I tried to collect my clothes on the ground and burst into tears. Unexpectedly, I was abandoned right on Christmas Eve. Hi, I'm Pia, 17 years old. I lived in a small town in Nevada with my stepmom and stepsister. My dad passed away when I was small, and my stepmother always favored her child over me. They hated me a lot and tried all sorts of ways to bully me. Are you wondering if I'm really a thief? Of course not. It all started before winter break when our school held a prom party. Ashley wanted to be the most gorgeous to win the title Winter Queen, so she asked her mom to buy her a dress but was coldly turned down. After that, there were several times I caught Ashley standing at the door of her mom's room when her mom wasn't there. It was truly suspicious, but I didn't pay it much attention. One night, I was taking the laundry into my stepmom's room, and when I turned on the light, I discovered Ashley rummaging through her mom's purse. She was standing in front of the open wardrobe and holding a stack of cash.
Ashley, did you just steal your mom's money?
In a flash, she shoved the money into my hand and shouted,
Pia, I can't believe you stole it!
"What the?" Hearing the commotion, my stepmom immediately arrived. Ashley quickly pointed at me and accused me of stealing money.
What? But you're the one who was taking it!
My stepmom angrily defended Ashley and said her daughter was no thief. And what happened next? You already knew. I was kicked out of the house, and they took all of my saving money to compensate for the emotional damage I caused them. That night, I wandered the streets alone and tired as my legs were getting sore. Suddenly, an old woman bumped into me and fell down. I was helping her up when the old woman started calling someone's name with a trembling voice.
Olivia, let's go home.
What? I touched her hand and realized she was having a very high fever. She also looked panicked. Poor old lady, I couldn't leave her like that. So I brought her to a street corner and I took care of her until I fell asleep without notice. However, the next morning, the old woman had mysteriously disappeared. Instead, a fancy car parked right in front of me. A man got out and said,
"Did you take care of an old lady yesterday?"
"Yes, but I can't find her anywhere now." Oddly, the man invited me to get in the car because the woman I had taken care of asked to see me immediately. Even though I was scared of this strange circumstance, I agreed to follow him. After a while, the car took me to a lavish mansion. When I came inside, standing in front of me was the old lady I helped the day before. She looked so aristocratic and wealthy compared to my first impression of her. She hugged me gently and pulled me directly into her chair.
Olivia, you're finally home. Please don't ever leave me again.
Honestly, I had no idea what was going on. Then suddenly, a young man came over and introduced himself as Henry, the lady's grandson.
Sorry for this, but can I ask you a favor?
Then Henry started explaining everything to me. It turned out that the old lady had a niece named Olivia who went missing at a young age. She was also Henry's sister.
My grandma loved her so much. Every time she lost her mind, she would run away from home to find her. Please, can you pretend to be Olivia?
Are you kidding me?
Just until New Year's Eve. Please, I'll pay you anything.
I knew it wasn't right to lie to someone, but I was homeless. If I agreed to play Olivia, I could have food on my table and a roof over my head even just for a short time. And so from that moment on, I started to stay at the mansion to take care of the old lady as her granddaughter. She loved me dearly and treated me like family. We went to church every day and gave each other meaningful Christmas gifts. As a Christmas and New Year's tradition, their family held a dance party at the mansion. During the party, when I was standing alone in the corner of the hall, the old lady suddenly pushed me into the center.
Olivia, go have fun, honey. I know you love dancing.
Gosh, I've never danced before, so I didn't know what to do. At that moment, Henry came to the rescue and took my hand towards the center.
Don't worry, I'll teach you.
Amusedly, I let out a small chuckle. When the music started, I accidentally stepped on his foot, causing him to grimace in pain, while Grandma giggled happily. Henry led me in every dance step, and gradually, we became more rhythmic. However, a man accidentally bumped into me so hard that it made me fall on top of Henry. My heart skipped a beat, and both of our faces flushed in embarrassment. My life by the old lady's side was very peaceful. She taught me how to bake Yule cakes, and although I ended up spilling the dough and setting the whole cake on fire, she and Henry were never mad at me and just laughed it off. She even happily shared that accident story with the housekeeper. Henry said that since the day I came here, Grandma had smiled more and didn't look as grim and sad as before. Slowly, I started loving her as my real grandma and even developed romantic feelings for Henry. But of course, I kept quiet because I knew I couldn't stay there forever. One evening, when I was passing by the reading room, I saw Grandma sitting in the room crying and hugging Henry.
I've known for a long time that Pia is not my grandchild. We can't keep her forever, but I love her too much to let her go.
Because of my shock, I tremblingly stepped backwards, then accidentally bumped the vase behind me, causing it to shatter on the ground. The sound startled them and made them aware of my presence. Grandma smiled and called me in. She gently expressed her gratitude for my kindness these past few days, then suddenly said,
Pia, I love you like my own niece. Please stay here with me.
I burst into tears of happiness and rushed to hug my new grandma. She had decided to adopt me. Soon after, this news spread everywhere. A few days later, my stepmom and stepsister suddenly came to see me. They hugged me tightly as if they missed me so much. After an awkward moment, they started talking. Pia, you're a billionaire's granddaughter now. Can you tell her to adopt Ashley too? Why should I? We are real family, aren't we? Let's share her fortune together. I was revolted to hear that. Faced with that outrageous suggestion, I flatly refused. I told them that Grandma loved me for who I was, and that I would never take advantage of her. Hearing my outright refusal, my greedy stepmom and stepsister immediately left in shame and anger. A few days later, they suddenly asked me to travel with them as an apology for their previous rudeness. After thinking about it, I decided to give it a chance to mend our broken relationship and decided not to tell Grandma so she wouldn't have to worry about me. As instructed, I drove to the California beach to meet with stepmom and Ashley. But when I was driving, suddenly a black car ran at high speed and tried to push me off the cliff. Luckily, I stepped on the brake and stopped the car in time. I was just panicking out of my car, and to my horror, Ashley rushed out from the black car and grabbed me by my neck.
Why don't you die already? Why are you always so lucky?
At that moment, Henry arrived on his motorbike. He quickly ran over and pushed my stepsister away. Turns out, Ashley and her mom had planned to destroy me this whole time. After being shot down, they despised me and didn't want me to exist in this world anymore. Fortunately, as I was leaving the house, Henry had noticed a strange black car tailing me, so he decided to follow us out of gut instinct. After we had calmed down, we quickly informed the police. Ashley and her mom were arrested and had to pay for their crimes. After that incident, I decided to stay with Grandma indefinitely and not return to Nevada. Henry and I also took our relationship to a new level. Not only are we co-managing Grandma's company, we've also decided to try hitting on each other.
I, the embodiment of Aphrodite, was standing on the podium that was reserved for the goddess of beauty, while 3 pretty boys standing below my feet were fighting for my attention. Cat, you're mine. No, Cat.
Huh?
I've been worshipping you for so long, you must be mine. No, come to me. I've bought you the prettiest of flowers. They all rushed to me. Oh, how lovely is the feeling of being adored by many people. Suddenly, a rough foot kicked my back. I heavily fell off the podium. Behind me was Mary with a haunting smile. I woke up drenched in sweat. Hi, I'm Kat, 17 years old. I'm used to being told that I'm a super eccentric nerd. I'm a loyal member of the Computer Software Club, one of the clubs with the largest number of weirdos. I'm very awkward whenever I have to interact with humans, and the school bullies never missed a chance to make fun of me. Among them, the worst one was Mary, the cheerleader. Mary is, without a doubt, an obnoxious, evil person. She loves humiliating me in front of everyone. Once I was eating alone in the canteen when Mary and her minions walked past me. Each one held a plate of ingredients, one with pasta, one with meat sauce, another with cheese. Suddenly, Mary poured noodles over my head and her friends added toppings one by one. Anyone want spaghetti? We're doing a free giveaway. I stood up to protest, but Mary smiled and quickly put a bowl over my head. Gotcha! The whole canteen laughed as I rushed out and cried. I couldn't stand it any longer. She must pay for this. And from that day on, I was set on getting back at Mary. I found her Instagram with 10,000 followers. The opportunity to use my skills had come. With just a few simple steps, I easily hacked it. I quickly changed Mary's password and disconnected that account from all of her devices. Not stopping there, I texted everyone on her friend list to badmouth the 2 girls in her bully group. Let's see how she'll be punished tomorrow, haha. The next morning, I rested my head on my chin, patiently waiting to see Mary's reaction. She appeared with an annoyed expression while holding her phone. Can't log into your Insta, right? Her face looked so funny. Suddenly, 2 of Mary's mean-spirited besties knocked her over and shouted, "You think we're just your background, don't you? And how dare you tell others we have rotten feet?" What nonsense are you spitting? Mary's besties angrily showed her their phones. I watched as her face turned bewildered at the long messages full of bad-mouthing. Without saying a word, those 2 shoved Mary into a nearby trash can. The whole canteen burst out laughing again, and that time they even clapped. How does revenge taste, you nasty witch? Suddenly, a text was sent to Mary's Insta on my phone. I'd love to get to know you, gorgeous. Ooh, there were a lot of idiots flirting with her, but I felt a rush of thrill as if I was the one being flirted with. From that moment on, I started another game. Flirt with all the boys while playing Mary. Even the school's hottest jock like John or geekiest geek like Thomas were fawning over Mary, but they had no idea that the person they flirted with every day was the eccentric girl at the Computer Software Club. To be honest, when I hid behind the screen, I felt much more confident and interesting. I also helped her account grow from 10,000 followers to 12,000. Day after day, I flirted with countless guys until I got bored and kicked them away because they just seemed like boring idiots. But things were completely different when Liam appeared. Liam is the son of the president of a tech corporation. He has the most charming brain I've ever met. We talked all night and all morning, and Liam seemed impressed with my knowledge while I slowly fell for his cuteness. One day he texted me, "Mary, I'd love to see you. Can I ask you out for coffee?" Sure, I can't wait. Oh my god, Liam wanted to meet me for coffee. What should I wear? But wait, the one he wanted to see was Mary. I almost forgot I was talking to him in Mary's name. What should I do? When the date finally came, I saw Liam sitting at the corner of a table in the cafe. He looked so calm and collected. I watched Liam from afar for more than an hour. He constantly looked at his watch as his face turned tired and disappointed. I felt so sorry for Liam, but I couldn't show myself. He pulled out a bouquet of roses and looked at them sadly. Seeing that, I took a deep breath and approached him. Hi, are you Liam?
Yeah? Are you...
I'm Kat, Mary's close friend. I told him that Mary couldn't come due to work, so I came to apologize to him on her behalf. He smiled friendly and asked me to give Mary the bouquet while bidding me goodbye, but I stopped him. Wait, would you like to stay for a cup of coffee? My treat.
Sure, why not?
The more we talked, the more we found out that we had a lot in common. Liam also admitted that talking to me was more interesting than he expected. The next morning, when I went to school with a smile on my face, I saw the whole school buzzing. The paramedics were carrying an unconscious girl to their ambulance. It was Mary. What happened to her? When I heard people whispering, I found out that she had been chased around the school by Thomas the Geek because he thought she was playing with his feelings. Well, actually, I did it. Because she ran too fast, Mary accidentally hit a tree and fainted. Shoot. It seemed I went a bit too far. News of Mary's injury spread everywhere, and also the news that her Insta was hacked was also widely shared. People warned each other and shared information about the hacked account. Too afraid that I would be exposed, I quickly deactivated Mary's Insta so that no one could trace it. In that critical situation, Liam called me.
Kat, I've just heard the news. Is Mary injured? What happened?
I panickedly answered, Mary's fine, don't worry. How about you?
I'm so worried. I want to visit her. Is she in the Texas hospital?
No way! If they met, I would surely be screwed. I tried to stop him, but no matter what arguments I used, I couldn't convince Liam. I realized Liam actually had a lot of feelings for Mary, not for me. Before he left, he sent me a message.
I'm going to the hospital to visit Mary. Please tell her I'll be there.
OMG! Without thinking much, I quickly put on my coat and took my bicycle. I biked urgently while watching the time slowly draining. At a red light, an old woman crossed the road at super slow speed, and I had to leave my bicycle to help her walk faster. Ugh, why is life so hard on me? I pedaled quickly to the hospital, then dropped my vehicle outside the campus. As I ran, I prayed that Liam hadn't arrived yet. Unfortunately, the elevator was broken. Jesus, I had to climb 12 floors to get to Mary's room. Sweat poured out of me nonstop, but when I finally got there, I panicked when I saw Liam was already sitting next to her wheelchair. Not only that, many phones were pointing at me.
This play is over.
You, I stammered, not daring to look Liam in the eye. Turns out I was the one who was being played. Liam is Mary's brother. In order to find out who hacked his sister's Insta, he pretended to flirt with the hacker to expose them. Too ashamed, I burst into tears. The phones were still pointing at me, but Mary ordered everyone to lower their phones.
Let's stop it here. I don't want things to go too far.
Then surprisingly, Mary took the initiative to apologize to me and confessed to everyone that because of her bullying, things got to that point. I also regretfully apologized to her and promised to return Mary's account to its owner. Mary and I chose to forgive each other so that there would be no more unfortunate incidents.
The auction got more intense when the auctioneer brought out a diamond dress. All the girls in the auditorium were in awe when it was revealed.
The next item up for auction is a diamond dress. The opening bid will begin at $150,000.
I have to get it! $200,000!
$200,000 to Miss Doman.
$200,001! $300,000! $300,001. Are you kidding me? $500,000! $1 million! What?
Sold to Miss Kaminsky.
Oh, my bad. But that's okay. I bought it as a doormat. Who are you? Why be so crazy?
Miss Kaminsky will get everything she wants.
It looks like someone just asked my name. I'm Jenny Kaminsky, and I live in Massachusetts. Before I tell you about my wealthy life, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. I am the only daughter of my parents, and they are billionaires. My father is a real estate tycoon, and my mother is a famous fashion designer who stands behind many products of the most recognized brands like Gucci, Prada, Chanel. Darling, go get the gifts! Let me see. I could even make sure that none of my outfits were the same to each other in a year. I lived in a large mansion isolated from the rest of the world, surrounded by thousands of golf courses.
This is private property. No trespassing.
Every weekend, I use my private jet to shop at the mall. I want this, and that one. How dare you bring me this old-fashioned stuff? Do you know who I am? I want to speak to your manager. I loved the way people admired me when I walked out of a boutique with a bunch of bodyguards carrying bags behind me. However, I was the opposite of my dad, who didn't like me being too showy. I want to change my jet to pink.
If you don't behave properly, I will cut your allowance forever!
Well, I would definitely have my way of changing the jet's color to my fave color. And about the boys who pursued me.
Jenny, if you love me, I will buy you an entire island and name it after you. I don't have much, but I own 5 skyscrapers in Los Angeles, 6 golf courses in Dubai, and 1 heart wholly devoted to you.
Confess it. You wish to have a dream life like mine, right? I was used to being rich until one day, everything changed. Trust me, it was really, really bad.
We've been having some trouble at work, so our lives will be slightly turned upside down.
Slightly? But how?
We're moving to a smaller house. Your tutoring will stop, and you will be instead sent to a boarding school.
Boarding school? What about my jet? My things and clothes? Mom! Everything will be sold as collateral. Our company goes bankrupt. I don't want to be poor. No! It's impossible! I ran back to my room. Everything now could make me furious. No! No, please! Why is life so unfair? After being exhausted from crying, I laid down on my bed. Then I woke up because of the loud noises outside my room. I opened the door, entered the hallway, and found strangers inside my house. Who are you? Thief! Thief in the house! Get out of my house! But they didn't answer, just continued to carry all our stuff away. I ran to my parents' room and heard them talking.
Jen will be fine. Our daughter is strong. She is smart and agile. Just don't worry too much.
So it was true. It was not all a nasty nightmare. My life changed negatively overnight. I was transferred to a school in town. It was even smaller than my mansion. A familiar girl entered the class and her eyes went straight to me. I didn't realize who she was until she raised her voice. Oh, look who's here, falling from the 9 clouds. Is it hurt, snobby lady? Who are you? Sold to Miss Kaminsky. Oh, you're the one that wants to wear my doormat.
Stop acting like a drama queen, Teresa.
Oh, little Liam, I think you're supposed to be in the hospital to care for your weak sister.
It's none of your business. You better stay away from her. She is bad.
Huh? Stay away? I've never had to be afraid of anyone before. Who do you think you are? Is your dad the headmaster of this school?
Nope.
Huh, then she is nothing.
Her dad isn't the headmaster, but her mom is. If you still want to stay here in peace, don't mess with her.
Take my hand off! How dare you!
You are no longer the daughter of a rich family. Now you are just like me.
Why? How do you know that? Do I know you?
Well, I just read some news. Anyway, I'm Liam. You can call me if you needed.
Why should I? I can take care of myself. Then I turned around and walked away. The first day of school went not so well. Teresa and her friends hid my books and smeared gum on my chair. How miserable you are! You little brat! While I was fiddling with the gum on my skirt, Liam came over and wrapped his shirt around my waist.
I told you not to mess with them. You need to be more patient.
But they go first! I'm not drinking this. I'm hungry. I want sushi and Starbucks.
You can't do anything if you don't have money. I have a part-time job at a fast food restaurant. You should think it over.
You want me to work as a waitress?
That's all you can do now.
Ugh, this outfit looks so awful!
Guests coming in. Ask them what they want to order. Be polite.
What can I get you? What? Why are you here? Why can't I be here? Now serve God! I want 1 cheeseburger, 1 crispy chicken sandwich, 3 pieces of fried chicken, 6 nuggets, and... How could I remember it all? Why do you eat so much, you fat ass? Liam panicked and pulled me inside. What happened after that was terrible. I was fired and the boss reprimanded Liam for letting me in. The next day, Liam found me a new job, a sailor for a high-end shoe store. I can do this, definitely. But why are you treating me so well?
I just want to help those in need. Don't get me wrong.
Psst. This job suited me because I used to use designer brands, so I knew all the popular shoe models. The boss was delighted with me, but it didn't end there. Teresa and her friends found me, again. Bring me this, and the pair on the shelf over there. I want to try it on, but you have to put it on my feet. You went too far. What? What are you gonna do to me? But her behavior reminded me of the old me. My rich friends and I used to look down on others, and Liam probably didn't want me to mess with them. Ugh, karma will hit you hard. Suddenly, I saw someone burst into the store. Trixie? Go home now! How dare you go around bullying others? OMG, you're hurting me! It turned out that Liam videotaped the whole thing and sent it to Teresa's mother. One day, the PE teacher selected me for a school handball competition. From that day on, I had to go to the gymnasium after school to practice. So did Teresa and her friends. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And it was not unexpected. They repeatedly attempted to attack me. Take this, freak! Suddenly, someone rushed in and hugged me tightly. It's Liam! I saw him wince slightly as the ball hit his back. You all right? Liam didn't answer, just nodded his head slightly. Our faces were so close. My heart pounded wildly in my chest. Why did he show up at such a time? Was he always following me? Did he like me? For a moment, I thought he was going to kiss me then. But no, Liam let go of me and ran away. The next day, he didn't come to class. I asked the teacher about him. His sister is in the hospital, and he takes a few days off. I finally got the address of the hospital and planned to go there the next day. It was a major hospital in the city. When Liam saw me, he was so surprised.
Why are you here? How do you know?
I come to visit your sister, as her brother's friend. I pushed Liam aside and entered the room. His sister was sitting on the bed, and she smiled when she saw me. That smile really touched me. It was the kindest smile I've ever seen. You must be Jenny. I've heard Liam talk about you. A lot. Tell about me? You obsessed with me? His face turned red for a moment, making us burst out laughing. Since that day, we had become closer more than ever. I even helped him with the study that he missed out.
I used to think my sister would be the most important person to me.
I turned to look at Liam, and so did he.
Until you came into my life.
Before I could say anything, he rushed over and got close to me.
Allow me. Well, what are you doing?
Huh?
Why do you close your eyes?
From then, I came to visit his sister every weekend. One day, I was waiting for him when his sister said that he seemed to have a date with someone. I was rather curious, to be honest. I looked out the window and saw Liam running happily on the hospital campus. But he suddenly stopped after receiving a phone call. He turned around and ran back towards the gate. I followed him down 2 streets until he turned into a restaurant. I was surprised when I saw a familiar car parked outside. How is my little Jen? Is she okay?
She's fine. She's changed a lot. Not as stubborn as before.
Oh gosh, thank you.
Beside the hospital bills, we will give you a little more as a thank you for helping Jenny. We had no choice but to lie to her. Thank you again for helping us.
I received 2 shocks in a row. My family's company didn't go bankrupt, and their work didn't meet trouble as they said. And most of all, the guy that I thought came to me because he loved me, but he took advantage of me to make money. That sucks. I believed in you, but you just need the money. You're a fat liar. Why did you lie to me? Am I a joke to you? We're so sorry.
You don't have to apologize. We did it because it's good for you. We thought you had to be more mature, but you... Jenny, stop.
It hurt me so much when I heard his sharp words. I ran away from there and returned to the dorm. Liam texted and called me a lot, but I didn't pick up. That night, I suddenly received a phone call from an unknown number. I'm sorry for making you come this far, but I can't go anywhere. If you want to speak for him, it's useless then. Liam is my brother, and I know you're the one he loves. I stayed silent because my heart broke when I heard his name. Liam worked so hard so that I could be treated in a good hospital. He didn't receive money from your parents. You can ask them for everything. He loves you. He hasn't been to the hospital since this morning. I'm so worried. Should I find him? Liam was the only person to give me such strong emotion, who kept me smiling even when things were at the worst. But where should I find him? I suddenly remembered something. I ran over there and saw Liam, under the tree where we were together that day. Liam?
No, I'm sorry. I know that no matter how much I tried, it wouldn't be enough.
Thank you for showing me the value of life.
Jenny, you also taught me a lot.
What?
You taught me to love this life. My life from now on is you.
Liam turned around and pulled me close. Then he placed a kiss on my lips. We became a couple after that. I also made up with my parents and understood that they just wanted the best for me. I had returned to the wealthy life, but I was not the stubborn Jenny Kaminsky of the old days. After all, I have learned to love my family and the people around me.